So, welcome back, everybody, to our MTGPL Invitational Tournament. Today, we are playing our Invitational Tournament where we have our best players facing off against each other to see who's the best in the end. Now, I'm joined by the beautiful and dashing-looking Dr. Leo. Welcome to the stream.
Hey everybody, I'm glad to be back. This is our I can't remember which invitational, but our spring invitational. These players have been bashing it out for the last 4 months and figuring out who is the top. And I'm happy because there's some recurring faces. Of course, we got two titans here, two champions, two Tensai looking to four-peat or three-peat. I can't remember. While Malfoy is looking for the repeat. This is great. I always love these types of matchup because really get to see two players who know each other, who know their decks, know what they're playing, and just like have that good game of legacy where you get to see every decision matters, and I'm happy. It's a great day. Beautiful
It's a
outside.
It feels a little bit like going to a big tournament and just playing against the people you drove on a car to the tournament with because you know all the players that you're playing against, but it's still a big tournament. But
Yes, yes. I literally that feeling. This is when you're both like 3-0 in the 3-0 bracket. You drove there together. You're both just like sitting at the table, just like, man, I don't want to do this. I know you're exact 75. I know what you're gonna bring in against me. Like, all right.
exactly.
This is when you get like the skill, like you can tell the skill differential because every decision in this type of stuff matters. And we talk about this every single season. The invitational chat is one of the best chats to be in if you are in the MTGPL. Not only is there fresh shit talking, which is one of my favorites, but there's also a lot of like that inbred meta. Just like, okay, I know you can play this, but I know you can also pivot to this. We all have no idea what the fuck Tensai is gonna do because Tensai is gonna juke us all and probably just win with mono black. So it's one of those things that if you want to get to these players, join the Discord, play our events, let's have fun, and yeah, let's see what players are gonna keep.
Definitely. So we have the players drawing their hands and Tensai being on his Esper Stoneblade deck that we like. It's not Stoneblade, it's Breakfast. It's So we have a like mono blue, like a Esper controlish combo deck against Melfi's like
Ooh.
pure control deck. Esper playing against Force of Will every round with Sneak and Show, like blue white control, and now Hot Wheels.
So looking at this, Tensai named, double checking where's our table
Table
spotting?
spotting will be starting soon,
Yeah.
so no
Okay.
worries.
Hey, so
Oh,
that was a Nomad's core, and one of the important things I want to talk about in this matchup is the Caverner Souls in this deck, because Caverner Souls basically allows for one half of the combo to be protected. So in this instance, it's core, which means that the soldier, the both the Nomad's Encore and the
unfortunate
what's it
mistake,
called?
both.
Stoneforge Mystic are both protected,
Yeah.
and that's huge.
So we found the table spotting. It went to a different channel, but now we're up on play. So, but we know we moved to one of the core combo pieces, immediately going for the second combo piece with the Shuko. And now
Okay.
Melfi is a little bit like forced to be able to react to the combo at any point.
Yeah, so this is one of the amazing parts about Cephalid Breakfast when we look at the deck as a core. And so I always love to call this deck a combo control deck. It's a tempo deck, but at the same time, it can combo off if you give it enough time. It has this amazing Stoneforge package that can pivot to at any point during the game, and it helps tutor out combo pieces. Like I have been singing the praises of this deck for a while, and it's because of the fact that when Stoneforge is good, Cephalid Breakfast is just as good. And right now, Stoneforge is great.
Yes. Interestingly enough, like we are all prepared on the combo plan, but Tensai could just as well like drop a land, tap Stoneforge, put in Kaldra, and now we're on the beat. So this is
Yeah,
super interesting with this. Oh, second Heaven of Souls.
Red
And
Eye
now even
Sight
Force of
into a
Will will
draw.
not help.
Yeah, so one of the important cards that's going to be in this matchup between the two, because this is a classic differential between the power color, the three color blue decks. Tensai being on Esper gets and hand disruption and the combo because of the fact that Dread Return and such like that. But Malfi being on the red gets Pyroblast and Red Blast, and that is massive in this game because of the fact that it interacts positively on the cantrips in addition to protects your stuff when you're going to deploy your threats like these Hole Breachers, because Hole Breacher is so key in this deck.
Okay, we see Prismatic Ending being put on top of the deck again with the Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, Days Undoing. So now it's on
Uh,
Melfi's side to react to the Days Undoing.
I hate that this has become like a central part of.
We had the
Uh,
combo
yep,
available. Wow. Wow,
yep,
this is brutal.
yep. Okay, so we're seeing Force on the Days Undoing response. That's Malfi. Force pitching three fairy, and Tensai realizing that about to lose, importantly, the two tutor pieces that Tensai just looked for. But in addition to that, Malfi's going to fill up on mana and 7 cards, and this is just backbreaking. And yeah, here we see it. Um, so yeah, the Cephalid Illusionist is going to be exiled.
Isn't the Force
Yeah,
also
the
being put
Forest.
into the
Yeah,
deck again?
yeah. Our tournament spotter, our table spotter. Yeah, no worries. Hey, this happens. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a time twister effect. It doesn't matter. Tensai's not gonna be able to draw a single card because of the fact that Tensai is outside of their draw step. So Malfi's gonna get 7 fat treasures, and this looks to be pretty much locked up for Malfi. I mean,
I
it
mean,
is
it's
possible.
very hard to come back here. So we need exactly the draws of like 2 combo pieces to get something against a hand full of interaction.
Mystic Sanctuary is a busted card. Actually, a cute bunny. Like it is one of the most busted cards there was as when like during that era, because everything about that era was just so powerful. The fact that they were fetchable, in addition to had like actual like decent effects, was just like it was just so good with the deck. Heck, I really do think that when it comes to Throne of Eldraine, that set was just so pushed ahead of its time that like it set the tone for just such a wild year in Legacy, because that set was like the first Modern Horizons where it was like there's so many things from there that you keep on finding that was viable.
Okay, we saw a Warning Vampire enter the battlefield in 10 size end step, plussing on the Hull Breacher, plussing again this turn. So now Hull
This
Breacher going
card,
from a 3
okay,
damage to
so
5 damage, that's a real clock.
okay, so when it comes to this card, if this wasn't if this didn't have Flash, it wouldn't be playable in Legacy. Is my opinion. And like I'm not sold on it though. There's just like 4 mana is such like a coveted spot in Legacy, and like I can't believe that this card is seen play over Jace the Mind Sculptor in Malfi's list.
The point here is that you have the Hull Breachers, and Jace doesn't help you win the game. So you need something to produce a fast clock that can kill your opponent while they are locked out under Hull Breacher or Narset, and they cannot draw answers as they want to.
So you're
And
primarily using it for the plus to make sure that it gains first
yes,
strike. Like it trades up because it makes it a 4/3. 4/3 is very difficult to deal with. Are we gonna see? Oh, we're seeing Shuko. I
but
mean,
also if you look at the like bold range, if you play it in your end step, you plus it's 4 toughness when you attack and your opponent untaps again. So that's also not unrelevant.
Yeah, and Bunny, you are right. It does dodge the blasts, which are the fact that they are like between 2 to 3 main board in Legacy is just absolutely wild to me. Like it's so unnecessary. Okay, swords. I think the swords was a bit much of an overplay right now. I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, it doesn't increase your clock or anything like that. Like,
Interesting how aggressively Melfi is using his treasures instead of using his lands. Which is like, I mean,
well,
every treasure is a lotus petal and it's a resource that you're using up what the lands you can use again. It's
exactly. I agree with that because you can also use the treasures. Like I've used those whole breach of treasures before to prismatic ending for 5. It was great. And GG's. Cool. Yeah, that defending that hull breacher and being able to defend the Days Undoing was backbreaking. So looks like Malfi's taking a game 1. This is the X and O bracket as well. So if one of these players lose here, they can drop down into the lower bracket and fight their way back up. So it's not totally over for this, but let's look at sideboarding. Walk me through it.
so we have Melfi here. Wait, I should change to our view because I'm getting the lag also because um looking at the Twitch chat, I was like, okay, I'm in real life time here. So we have Flusterstorms, Surgical Extractions, Prismatic Endings, Thassa's Oracle, Serenity, two names, and 3 swords. So I think the sideboarding will be a little bit similar to our last match where we want to bring in the 2 names from and Flusterstorms. I'm not so sure about the prismatic endings because the permanents start at 3 CMC and you have access to blue, black, and white, but you might not be able to reliably get rid of those. I think the prismatics are more for the hate pieces. So I'd try to win with a mix of like bringing in Flusterstorms to interact with the opponents and Tunim Nemesis to have the inevitable beats against Melfi. Yes. Oh, Doc, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I was drinking water and then I forgot about this. But here's my question for you: Who is Flusterstorm in this matchup defensive or offensive?
Both. I think if you're on the play, it can be pretty aggressive.
Exactly. So I'm liking Flusterstorm in this matchup, and especially when you're on the play, as a aggressive way to beat blast effects, trading 1 for 1 and essentially powering through your combo when you don't have the what's it called, the Cavernous Souls. So because of the fact that I'm looking at Flusterstorm bringing it in, I'm looking to cut probably, hey, if I'm gonna go straight combo, I'm gonna bring in Flusterstorms. If I'm going to go mid range, try and Stoneforge you out, I'm bringing in True Names. So it really does depend on which variant you're trying to play here. If I'm Tensai, knowing Tensai, I'm probably bringing in True Names. I'd bring in a single prismatic ending to fight things like the one of Grafdigger's Cage, exactly the one of. In addition to, I might bring in the Fluster's Storms if I was still trying to keep in the 4 Narcomoebas and the Thassa's Oracle and stuff like that.
Last game
Uh,
I said you can probably take out the jitter, but as we saw last game, it's still a relevant card.
Jit is just good. Okay, it is a just solid card, even when you because it turns things that shouldn't be clocks into clocks, and so because of that, it's a very effective card when it's the only thing on the board. If there's literally anything else to interact with it, or if if Jit can't kill anything like with -1/-1s, it goes down in value. But then again, I'm also not a Stoneforge player, so I don't have as much appreciation for JIT as I should.
Going back to the game, we see Tensai leading on Anagon C into
Here's
Cable Therapy.
what's the name? The name. There's got to be one correct name. There's gonna be one correct name in the blind.
I'd go for
Okay,
oh
that's also acceptable. That's also acceptable. And hits the ponder, baby. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was looking
Surgical
for.
Swords and Blast. So like we skipped the sideboarding for Melfi, but I mean you definitely want to bring in the
Yeah,
blasts, all the
you bring in
blasts
the
that you can
graveyard ape.
find,
You
and
bring,
the surgicals.
yeah, you bring in the three surgicals and the three blasts because you have free cuts like Savine's Reclamation. You don't care. They're not going to interact with you like that. You can cut the two Supreme Verdicts. You can cut one. I would probably keep one on the hedge of the bet of the True Name Nemesis, but then I would also cut down on things like you don't need the maybe the Fluster Storm. But if you're going to bring in the cage, you're going to cut your Snapcaster as well. So
I'm not even sure what you want to cut here. So maybe the reclamation, yeah, but I mean it doesn't look like Melfi is like bad or like in a bad situation with the configuration of his deck against Tensai. But do you see a Stoneforge Mystic here?
yep,
Yes.
Stoneforge probably gonna go. If in this case, you know that your opponent just has a blast in hand. And wait, do we see a Swords of Plowshares?
Yes. I think
No,
it
we saw
was Swords, Surgical, and also
Swords, Pyroblast, three lands. Okay,
a
so in this case,
Blast.
yeah, I go for the Shuko. I go for the Shuko. Put the threat on there. Say, hey, answer my thing. Otherwise, my combo piece gets in play.
Uh,
Oh no!
him,
Immediately sacrifice for value because Malfi didn't. Oh, oh, that's dirty. Oh, are you gonna surgical the Stoneforge Mystics?
I mean, this way you also get information about the cards in
True name's been
Tensai's
in.
hand, and you know what you have to play around with.
Combo's still in. Yeah, the Stoneforge. That's dirty. That's yep. Jit's still in. Okay, so this makes cards like Cauldra dead draws.
That's true, but I
Yeah, because
mean,
you're not getting the 7 mana in this matchup.
Tensai
You're
is
dead.
up on the combo plan, so
Yeah, and that's known information.
take the blast. We have a hand full of blue spells. We have one combo piece. We just need the illusionist to win here. I mean, there's still the swords against double force.
Yeah. Okay, and for those that haven't been around or don't know, Cabal Therapy, one of the best cards in existence. That's why gives you information, takes the card that you care about in the matchup, because the fact that you got two combo pieces here and force protect it, and you're pretty sure that you could just beat the one surgical.
As far as I'm counting, I've seen Cable Therapy being cast 4 times, like two normal, two flashbacks, and it hit 5 cards. So that's a pretty good rate on Tensai's side. Oh, Eternally also played Cable Therapy, which is really, really nice if you can unmask your opponents before.
We have some very good Cabal Therapy players on the server. These are the skills you learn when you play Paper or Legacy, because ooh, ooh, that prismatic ending is dirty.
You want to get rid of
Brainstorm.
this Oracle, probably.
Yeah, you got yeah, this is happening. Yeah. So if you play Paper Legacy and Paper Magic in general, uh, developing Cabal Therapy skills are like a real thing, and it's like there's a certain nuance when it comes to like looking at an opponent, looking at a hand, looking at known information based on like deck lists and stuff like that, and be able to rip cards.
Okay.
Oh, yep, we are seeing the force. Yep, we are seeing force pitching force. Okay, that's good. Turn the dead cards around. And oh, a blast was drawn. Oh, shit.
Oh, and he started blasting. Pew, 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 pew. That's
So, anyways, I started blasting. Okay, so that's one combo piece down. So that puts literally I know I saw Cephalid Illusionist in there. I know I saw Nomads. So you got to resolve both of them.
That's where we are at.
Yeah.
We
Well,
know if he doesn't find a fetch, he still has his Oracle. He still has.
I mean, you could hard cast Cauldra.
You never get around to hard casting Call, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you could technically. I mean, it is theoretical in this type of a matchup, but like Malfi's gonna like Hull Breacher you and like Days Undoing you. Like at this point, it's more of a size that like Tensai's easy combos are like a little bit more difficult now. I mean, we have to get up to essentially 4 mana to resolve. Well, three to four to resolve Cephalid Illusionist and protect it, plus Nomads. Um, it's tight, and at any point here, oh, okay, that's gonna make things easier. That's gonna make things easier. Aether Vial
I
is
think
nice.
you don't really care about either while. You can. Oh,
Oh, this is
what
the
do
one
we?
surgical. Oh no, this is a second surgical. Are we gonna fight over this? I think we gotta fight over this. Oh, we got the Cephalid. Oh,
Okay,
taking
we are taking out
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm. But isn't this all for forces now? We played force, pitching force. Now we have two forces back.
Yeah, that's every one of the forces. So
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah, I like this. I mean, oh yeah, and then Hull Breacher, yeah, it has to eat that Force of Will because at this point, if your opponent Days Undoing without Hull Breacher, you're just refilling on combo pieces, so and protection. But those surgicals, there's a certain finesse when it comes to surgicals. You don't want to bring it in against everything. You don't want to just like slam it against like your opponent's random one ofs or whatever. Uh, like
They can be really good if you're ahead of if you
yeah,
want to interact. But if you're going into the sluggish like late game part of the game where you need to find an answer, brainstorm, ponder, like any kind of planeswalker or like a threat, and you draw this surgical and see like I can't like it doesn't do anything. So it's a very like thin line when you want to find it or when not.
yeah. I completely agree. I do tend to like surgical more often in black decks that can like cabal therapy and then surgical. That does feel good. Um, but it's one of those things that each one of these surgicals have been relatively efficient. Completely cutting off Tensai from one of the best enablers in the deck, in addition to now removing one of the best selection cards. So it's one of those things that I don't hate the surgicals in this instance. And if I remember correctly, Grand Abolisher is white. Yeah, so it can be cast. You're not gonna
So
cast the Nomads because it's just gonna eat a prismatic ending.
do we see Days Undoing?
Oh, just raw Days Undoing. Oh, Fluster. I mean, I mean, either you fight over it or yeah. But I guess Malfi is just desperate enough.
I mean, you really want to because Tensai just needs to find his like Cephalid
Yeah, the
cut,
Cephalid.
and he can like um put in the Abolisher,
Yeah.
and now he has to react because if he has the Cephalid cut, like he can just win. Use Vile, use the Nomad. Oh, it's
Oh,
still in the end step of Melfi, so Melfi can react to kill
yes.
the Abolisher to have the option to interact in Tensai's turn.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, just a small intermezzo from the other matches. We have Mr. Fringe playing against Socrates. They are still in game one. Eternally versus Wax 1-2-0 for Eternally, winning with World Gorger Dragon combo against Show and Tell.
Oh wow! So looks like Rax is out. Sad. And well, Rax, hop in here. Come hang out. Oh, there's always next season. And Rax, you got this. So you'll be one of the top players again. And I have no doubt that Rax will be right back in here. All right. So looking at this, as we did find the third land. Oh wow, Tensai's pondering away. I think Malfi's drawing some duds.
Maybe he has a Wandering Emperor and he doesn't have double white.
Oh yeah,
That's
there's no
that's a
double white.
possibility. Tensai is not finding what he wants. I think Tensai wants to go straight into combo.
Yeah, definitely. That's why the Aether Vial has remained on two, is so that way Cephalid Illusionist can just come down at the same time as Nomads in core and just boom, 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 you're done.
Okay, we have an update on Mr. Fringe and Socrates where Mr. Fringe took down the first game.
Blue White Control versus THASSA'SLASH. That's impressive. That deck is just stacked with like a bunch of counter magic and like veils.
I mean, looking at this invitation, there's a lot of blue running around. We have
There is a lot of blue.
we have Bomberman, we have like 2 animated decks and the 5 blue decks. So there's a lot of blue combo and fair blue, but I mean, is Hot Wheels a combo deck? Is playing wheel and not letting your opponent draw cards
So
fair?
I've had a lot of thoughts about this. I don't think it's a wheel. I just think it's a modern day Baneslayer Angel. It shuts the door. It's essentially a 6 mana play. It shuts the door on the game and puts in your opponent in a position where they just can't answer it anymore. It just game over. And so it's a way for combo players to finish and just finish it out, finish off the game. Besides, like a Jace ultimate, it's one of those things. I don't think it's essentially a finisher. Well, I don't think it's a combo. I think it's just a finisher.
Oh, we see cable therapy again
This
on
is good.
Tensai's side.
It gives us
This is
some
getting
information.
interesting. Named Swords Plowshares. Prismatic ending
Ooh,
and okay.
solitude. Solitude is good here. I can't
We still
cast.
need second white source.
Yeah, but you can pitch cast the prismatic ending.
Yes, that's true. But
Okay, want to talk about a card I
you
missed the boat on? Solitude. That card is so expensive now. I bought griefs, I brought endurances, but I looked at solitude. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna need that. Now, like every deck, I'm finding room for like 2 or 3 solitudes. Like, why?
Inside picked up his vial to 3. So now's the question, is there anything in his deck that's more than 2? And there is not. So now, if Melfi takes out the smaller vial, oh, true
Oh
name.
my gosh!
Yeah, the sideboard's true name.
Ha, got him. 4 turn clock. Oh, where's the? Oh, do we see a 5 mana force? Okay, we see a 5 mana force. Yeah, you can't solitude this.
But you can still try to raise, like with lifelink.
Yeah, true. True. True, 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 true. Do we have dress downs in this deck? No, no dress
No, we
downs.
don't. Melfi brainstorms, so
And still no double white though. So you can't even
there's
cast
not.
solitude. TNN. TNN. Yo, I got faith in the fish, homie.
I mean, we've seen this in the last few games that like Tensai is looking for combo cards, looking for combo cards. At some point, he just drops
Okay.
the two name, and we see okay, it's going the two name beatdown way.
Let's go in the distance. Let's go for speed. There's your really shitty doc karaoke for today.
It's 9 to 18.
Uh yeah, looks like it.
Can you even go for? like going pants down, trying to gain some life and
Yes.
waste the true name.
Yes. Because what's it called? Oh, Solitude is a 3/2, I do believe. So you play that, and you essentially healing salve. Yeah, you healing salve the true name damage, and it either forces your opponent to not attack with true name, and so it forces a stalemate, or it just no one progresses. So you one
It's
hundred
more
percent.
like you can do the like life total ways, but you're like pants down if he goes for combo now.
I mean, hey, who cares? You're about to die from angry fish.
Yeah. Yeah,
Easy
I
peasy.
know about the life link, that's true, but um oh our our table spotter is like Solitude has life link? What?
Yeah, it does, and
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
I know about the life link, but I'm still like you have to I mean you have to commit at some point to go for the life total race and not just die to the random two name.
Yeah, and here we see the nomad being displayed. Does nomad do any sort of like funky stuff?
He can prevent damage, which
Redirect
is
the
not really relevant with two name on the battlefield.
yeah, no. I just wondering if there's any like really funky here where you can like redirect some sort of
Oh yes, you can just attack with true name. Then you can block with the nomads and redirect the damage to the true name nemesis probably. And this
I
damage
knew there was something. Thank you, Judge Brain. Thank you.
now the question is the damage will not be prevented because oh it's a redirect. I have to look this up. Is the Solitude still the source?
Uh,
Or is the Nomad's Encore? I have to look up Nomad's Encore for the Oracle tag. It's a replacement effect.
Wait,
So
is it?
I think the Nomad's Encore is the new source of the damage, and it would kill the two name.
Oh, rip.
Better know your
Oh,
cards.
oh, oh. Yep. We see it. Combo. Okay, so those that don't know the Cephalid breakfast combo, let me break it down for you. You got two cards, Cephalid Illusionist and Noah's Encore. Cephalid Illusionist says whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, put the top three cards of your library into your graveyard. You use Noah's Encore, which is a 0 ability, redirect 1 damage to the Cephalid Illusionist, which is just you activate for 0. In addition to it does nothing, you just like target it. You do that a billion times until you flip over your deck, get Narcomoebos back into play, use those to Dread Return, back Thassa's Oracle, and lol, Thassa's Oracle's a boss card. You win.
So going a little bit off tangent. So if the Nomad's Encore is a redirect and you give Nomad's Encore lifelink, and you have like you can use Heliod. You just need Nomad's Encore and Heliod. Then you can just redirect all the damage to something else, and the Nomad's Encore will deal the damage, probably. I have to see. Does it gain you life? I mean, I should know it, but right now I have to look up several things that I cannot. That's very embarrassing. I should probably stop talking about it.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like when someone plays Judge Tower or like gives you a little like annoying quandary question, and you're just like, I don't, I know it, but I'm not sure that I know it, and I hate you for making me think about this because it's gonna bug me for the next like hour.
That's the reason why I still think of buying a word of command to play in our Saturday tournaments. To get the TO of the day to answer me some words questions.
Hey Jordan, how about you read out the thing for word of command? Ugh. Yeah, if anybody wants to like have fun with that, there it is. There it is. Yeah, have fun with that shit. It's two different things. It MTG pot has to do two.
I mean, it's basically on par with like modern day Magic cards, which have a lot of text. Like the new god that's a boat on the backside, the Cosima card.
I,
It's
I
like it's
I
like
know the
half a
card.
book on one Magic card.
I know that card has been put into cubes. I've never once paid attention to it. Like I've seen people take it and say that it's good, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, sure, I'll take your word for it. Like, I'm not reading that fucking card. Oh, it's still going. MTG bot's still going. Oh, that's the casino. Jordan, why are you doing this to us, buddy? Rest
That
in
was
peace,
me. That
chat.
was me.
Oh, that was you. Oh, okay. Oh,
So
this
are
is
we still going here with the combo?
yeah. Tensai. Long story short, Tensai is gonna win. Tensai's being cautious with it in the case that there is a random surgical that ruins Tensai's day. But at this point, looking at sideboard plans, we've seen two surgical. Oh, there's a third surgical to play around. Um, but yeah, like there's a dread return.
Did we find the Dread Return?
I think it's there. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, just revealing that there was a whole breacher in hand. There's a cabal therapy. Get last bit information in addition to
Oh, it's in his hand, probably.
oh,
So what's the
so cabal therapy target himself.
yes?
Yeah, yeah,
So what's our timing perspective here? How much time do we have left?
the mad lad had it in his hand.
Are
That's
you able
so
to
fun. Scratch
hardcast this
therapy.
card?
Name Alpha sure. Name is target self. Name's dread return. Tied 1-1. Oh my god. How does he just do this? You know, Tensai just does this. And for those that have been around, like Tensai's a recurring face within our invitationals because Tensai's just that good. And for anybody that like wants to learn a deck who just like wants to check out like good top level plays, just like check out our previous VODs, check out like our content on YouTube. Like Tensai is in there. We have a bunch of top players who are always featured on our stream, and they're all really good paper Magic players. And it's certainly a skill set that MTGO doesn't just teach you. So come hop into the Discord and hang out with us.
Definitely. We are currently halfway through our league, if I'm not mistaken. So in a couple of days we will see how our pool phase for the league is going on, where we have a lot of players playing in 5 to 6 player pots against each other, like seeing who comes out of top, and then the winner out of each pot goes into the playoffs in the finals, where they play in a semi top 8 to see who's the winner of the monthly league. So if you're interested in something like this, join our Discord, get yourself the league role, and you will be pinged when we start the next round for leagues.
Oh yeah, it's good times. If you're just like starting out in the Discord, it's also a good way to make friends. We have little sub communities within our community that people just play their events through, and like it's just a all welcoming place. So come hang out with us. It's a pretty great place. Nice. I hear the owner says it's nice. Hey, so yeah. Uh, but
Of course he
one-
is. He's the best. I'm paid to say this, by the way.
But Malfi's deck list. Let's talk about this sideboarding. Hang on, yeah, just total non-bias. Sprez, my homie up in Canada. Also my podcast host with me. So Malfi's deck, we saw the blast effects come in. We saw the surgicals come in. We saw the solitude come in. But you know what we didn't see come in? Graph Digger's Cage. Do you think it comes in after this that last round?
I certainly think so. I mean, after you have Grafdigger's Cage, I mean, Tensai can still play around that by just keeping the Oracle in his hand and playing it with a cavern.
Yeah, but
So
not
it's
all the
not.
time.
Hmm?
You don't have that Oracle in your hand all the time.
I mean, you know what you have to play around if the Graph Digger is on the battlefield. So you will only go for combo if you want to win with a card in hand. So Melfi on the play, both mulligan, and we see both keeping their sixes. Melfi plays a land and passes, and Tensai goes straight for the UC.
I'm saying each one of them, yeah, definitely each one of them has a fetch. Each one of them has force plus blue card, and I bet you each one of them has one card that made them keep the matchup, either a blast effect or some sort of hand disruption. Yeah, because when you're on six in this sort of a matchup, that's the sort of 6 card hand you're looking for.
So
Is you're
drum
looking for
roll.
some
What
way.
what are we naming? Cable
Brainstorm.
therapy. Brainstorm.
Ooh.
Oh, first miss.
Well,
Eh,
it's okay because this gives you great information. That's force with no blue card, and the only thing you have to play around is surgical extraction.
Yes, and now we know that he bought in the Kozilek's return to take care of the two name because it prevents
Oh,
damage
yeah.
cannot be prevented, and that should be. Or is it? No,
No,
nope.
do
I'm
damage.
nope.
No,
It's not. I mistook it for something else. Okay.
for 7 or less. If you do, deals 5. No, so it just deals 2 damage to each creature. That doesn't kill it, yeah, because it's a damage-based spell that you have control over. At least I'm thinking. I know, Cathar, you're the judge. I'm just a bumbling idiot.
I like. Yeah, I was more like thinking about. Well, I think anger doesn't prevent damage too, but
Yeah,
I
anger.
don't really want. I don't know what the Kozilek's return is for here. Like maybe to get rid of the stone forges and instant speed Cephalid answer.
I don't know. It's a red card. I don't play red cards. Is it bad? And is it a bug card? It's not in my repertoire, dude.
Stoneforge.
Yep. Okay. I bet you that's on core as well. With that much confidence, just like laying it on the ground. Okay, we see Shuko again.
And probably immediate flashback
Yeah, I
for
think we're going
Stoneforge.
immediate flashback here, and because otherwise, this surgical extraction is going to eat that cabal therapy. You gotta, yeah.
Oh,
You
do we have
know,
a brainstorm?
oh,
Nice.
dirty. Okay, okay.
Now's the true test of cable therapy.
Okay, yeah. Okay, here's where the brain games come into play. So, for those that haven't heard this rant before, back when we were streaming more often, I'd always talk about football therapy. But I like this. I like this. Making sure. Okay, so there's 2 reasons why Tensai would do this. First of all, this is a flashback of all therapy. So there is known information in hand on what are good viable hits. In addition to uh things like what's gonna call it uh uh crap when we see things like brainstorm and stuff like that, you're not only stopping the fact that that's the one blue card that Malfi has for the force will, so you know there's no other interaction besides the surgical. It's like, okay, do you want a subpar surgical hit, or do you just want it to get rid of it? So hoping that they'll take something else. So it's one of those things. There's a lot of play to that force will, and I actually fully agree with Tensai's decision to force will that thing.
Okay, Melfi finds a pond on top of his library. And I mean, I think also that Tensai did a good decision with forcing the brainstorm there because you have a sure hit with the surgical. It's like just trading up on value there a little bit,
So now
even
here's
if
my
you lose a
question to
card.
you. Do you let Tensai resolve Cabal Therapy? Which, by the way, if you ever say the words naming while there's Cabal Therapy on the stack, I don't care. It's like, okay, card's resolved. Like, as soon as I
Do
name a card, it is resolved.
you mean you surgical the?
Do you surgical or let the name come?
I'm depends on my hand. So in at Melfi's point of view, Like if he knows what's on top of his library, I will probably not surgical if it's good, like the brainstorm and ponder. If it's if I don't know anything, I will probably take the cable therapy away just in hopes to do something.
Mhm. I'm in agreement with that. I think in this exact situation, because we saw how effective it was in the last game, I probably would have surgical the Stoneforge because you know that you isolate the Cabal. A college complete is now a dead draw,
Oh,
and
I thought you're meaning like in response to casting the Stoneforge, you surgical the cable therapy.
no. In response to the with the therapy on the stack, Sorry.
Okay, here
Like
we
you have
see.
known surgical in hand, and there's a therapy on the stack. Do you surgical in response, or do you let them name?
I probably always try to.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wet blast the
I like that
brainstorm.
blast. I like that blast. Your opponent's on two. Like you
Yeah,
got hard cast forcible mana up next turn. Like yeah,
I mean
I like that blast.
he still has Cavern that's ticking up to 2, and he has the like the either while ticking up to 2 and the Cavern that's protecting the core. But he needs two. He has 2 cards in hand. He needs 2 cards to win right now, so anything can happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and Bear his hands off to the right side and stuff like that. His just like individual hands when you have him. Oh, Aether Vial activate puts in. Oh, this is 3 mana. This is 3 mana. Oh,
Wow,
oh,
that's
and
game right
no
there.
response, is allowed because Grand Abolish that Tensai just stone cold rips it like a stone cold fucking killer.
I mean, yeah, the Grand Abolisher prevents Malfi from reacting, and he can just go nuts, do all the things, flip his deck
Yeah,
until he
literal
has.
perfect 3 nut draw. And then there's one Narcomoeba.
We
Oh,
just need a
that's
second one.
brutal. Oh, Tensai, that man has a family. Also cleverly marking that the Dread Return. There's the Thassas and marking the other important card. Third,
And there's the second Narcomoeba.
yeah, but you go for all three. Yeah, then you
Oh, you
bag
just
tag.
no, you don't have access to 3 of them because
Yeah.
does he play 3 Narcomoebas?
No, I think he's only
Oh
running
yes,
two.
he plays 3, but there were only 2
Three.
available here.
Yeah, probably cut one because it's not good when you're going against known surgical.
Melfi
Wow.
taking down
Well,
the third round.
Tensai taking down the
Tensai.
Malfi. Yeah, that was
Sorry.
the fact that it was a stone cold dead rip, and also there was a pyroblast involved. There was a pyroblast hit that cantrip, stopping it, and Tensai easily still just went rip, got it with protection. With protection was the wildest part because you can't. You either have to respond to the Aether Vial activation or you can't respond at all.
That's true. And I mean, there's only limited ways because we knew about the Kozilek's return and the Force, so there was only one unknown card, if I'm not mistaken. And you just have to kill the vial, otherwise you don't have a chance to respond. And even then, if you just hardcast the Grand Abolisher, it's still pretty hard
Yeah,
to hurt at this
exactly.
point.
It had to literally. Okay, yeah, we see uh Fluster, true name. I think that was it was the prismatic endings were cut.
Like for Tensai, they shouldn't be in the main.
Oh,
There's
Tainted Indulgence was cut. Tainted Indulgence was cut.
this.
That's what was cut. But yeah, that was sicko. That was impressive. Of that when we saw that rip, for one, it had to be literally those. So we knew that Shuko was in hand from this the earlier Stoneforge Mystic, which was important.
So,
Um, but it literally had to be Grand Abolisher and also Cephalid Illusionist. It couldn't have been Nomads of Inkor.
Yes, that's true because we just need the illusionist as the like combo piece that's not redundant compared to the Shuku and the Nomads.
Yeah.
Very good. So that concludes our third round. We will be going into our fourth round very soon. We will set up the players and prepare the board for the next round. So who will be playing against each other in the fourth round? We have
Okay.
Tensai probably gets a small break while we go down into the losers brackets, where we
So the
have
lower bracket, so the lower bracket is topped off with Malfi. So for double elimination, Tensai once again. By the way, Tensai coming in eighth seed, just casually. Um,
oh
uh, Tensai is now the champion of the upper bracket, but because it's double elimination, Tensai still has to lose twice before to get out. So then we go to Malfi is top of the lower bracket. So right now, Surprise just took out Rax, and that is the that leaves Surprise into the semifinals for the lower bracket, which Fringe and Socrates are figuring out right now. And do we have a
yeah.
result on that one?
No, they are still in the like finishing up their third game. So I was a little bit early here. So we have Socrates on THASSA'LASH and Mr. Fringe still playing his control deck, blue-white control. So I think the table spotter saying the match will be over in a few seconds. Socrates is at 2 live. So let's just wait and see.
No worries. No worries. So let's talk about this upcoming matchup though. So first of all, also before we continue, want to talk about what these players are playing for, and it is our latest playset of our new token and Swords to Plowshares. Which the digital version is unfortunately in black and white because yours truly misread the copy machine, but the original's right there.
I mean, to be fair,
So
Towards the Plowshares is a white card, and it
Swords
often
to
hits
Plowshares.
black creatures. So black and
Yes.
white would be kind of on theme.
So Swords to Plowshares is going to be our latest token, and those will be sent out as a playset for the champion of this upcoming season, including leading up to our next season invitational. They get the automatic seed in. So it is that's what these players are playing for, and we are very excited for these tokens to be available. And anyone can get these tokens so long as they play in any of our weekly events. Hence, in addition to our invitational and leagues. So come join the Discord.
Okay, I just got the word that the third round has been concluded and Fringe takes down Socrates in the third game. 2-1 for Mr. Fringe. So in the lower brackets part of our tournament, we have Mr. Fringe on blue-white control playing against Eternally Surprise on mono-black World Gorger Dragon combo.
Yeah,
How do you
I mean,
see? Go ahead.
so
How do you
this is
see it?
this is your classic. This is your classic control versus as a reanimator or matchup. It's going to depend on two things: the Woolgorger Dragon's ability to punch a hole with Discord, and then capitalize on the hole. Oh, if that can't happen, and French has two, maybe three pieces of interaction, GG, game over. So it's gonna be interesting. But we're gonna take a short break while we get the next round set up. And we're gonna get a new commentator in as well. Uh, thank you everybody for hanging out with us, and we'll be right back.
Thanks. See you later again. Bye bye.